Hey everyone, Cody McLean here. Today I'm going to share something I've spent 20 years learning the hard way. The 5 types of partnership predators that could destroy your business. And I'm not kidding. This video, it's a glimpse into my upcoming book called Sharks, Snakes, and Business Partners: How to Identify Red Flags, Build Trust, and Protect Yourself in Business. So if you want to know more when it's available and see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. So I've spent more time in the entrepreneurial wild than I care to admit. And I've often fell prey to predators feeding on my own bank account. And after enough encounters to fill this bizarre trophy room of financial and emotional wounds, I've identified 5 distinct types of partnership predators that I think every entrepreneur should know. Let's dive in. The first predator type is what I call the charming fraudster, someone who weaponizes warmth and connection to gain your trust. I think the most famous example of this in recent years has to be Elizabeth Holmes of Theranos. Everything about her, from the black turtlenecks to the artificially deepened voice, was carefully engineered to make you want to believe her. She didn't just tell investors what they wanted to hear. She performed an identity that made them want to trust her. What makes the charming fraudsters so dangerous isn't just their ability to lie, it's their ability to make you want to believe. They don't just tell you what you want to hear. They become who you want them to be. And as one former Theranos employee described it, the way she trained her big blue eyes on you without blinking made you feel like the center of the world. Holmes created an environment where highly intelligent people actively participated in their own deception. Henry Kissinger, James Mattis, George Shultz, these weren't naive individuals. These were sophisticated operators who suspended disbelief because Holmes presented exactly what they wanted to see. The warning signs of a charming fraudster include stories that can't be independently verified, pressure to make quick decisions, explanations that become increasingly complex when questioned, name-dropping that can't be confirmed through direct connections, documentation that's always coming soon or just needs one more thing. The best protection strategies include waiting 48 hours before making any decision they present, verifying their claims independently, looking for past partners not in their current circle. You can search court records in every state they've operated. Remember, charm is not a business skill. It's not a substitute for competence, character, or track record. The more charming someone is, the more rigorous your verification process should be. The second predator type works in a completely different way. While the charming fraudster attacks with overwhelming charisma, the silent hijacker works from the shadows. A classic example of this is found in the early days of Facebook. While Eduardo Saverin was focused on selling ads in New York, Mark Zuckerberg and his team were quietly restructuring the company, diluting Saverin's ownership from 34% to less than 0.03% through a series of carefully executed legal maneuvers. So whether you believe Zuckerberg was justified or not, the tactics used represent a classic silent hijacker playbook, using legal and administrative mechanisms to gradually shift control and ownership. Silent hijackers don't need to be liked, they need to be needed. They create systems where they become indispensable, holding the keys to critical business functions, and really, by the time that their true intentions become clear, the business can't operate without them. So some of the warning signs include excessive interest in administrative control beyond what's necessary, creation of unnecessarily complex legal or financial structures, resistance to sharing administrative access or knowledge, insistence on handling all documentation without transparency, gradual consolidation of relationships with key stakeholders. And so your best defense strategies here include regular independent reviews of all legal documents, maintaining equal access to all critical systems, multiple signatories required on key accounts, cross-training on all administrative functions, regular review of corporate structure and permissions. So remember here, convenience is often the enemy of security. The tasks you're most eager to hand off are often the ones you most need to monitor. So the third type of predator is what I call the competence faker. Someone who plays the role of an expert while lacking the actual skills or experience that they claim to have. I think the perfect example of this is Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX. With his deceived appearance and seemingly brilliant grasp of complex financial concepts, SBF projected an image of a mathematical genius too focused on innovation to care about his appearance. But behind the scenes, court testimonies later revealed he had little understanding of the risk management systems he claimed to have built. The complex trading algorithms he described to investors were largely fictional. The sophisticated financial controls he assured regulators were in place simply did not exist. Quote, "We thought he was Einstein," one Sequoia partner admitted after FTX's collapse. What they had actually invested in was a masterful performance of competence, not the real thing. So some of the warning signs of a competence faker include impressive but vague credentials, speaks in industry jargon, claims multiple past successes, deflects detailed questions, blames others for failures, often has surface-level knowledge. Your protection strategy should include request and verify original work files. Also, speak with past clients, not on their reference list. And probably also have a domain expert evaluate their technical knowledge. You should also test their skills with small paid projects before you make any kind of full commitment. So remember, competence fakers thrive in specialized fields where expertise is difficult for outsiders to verify. No matter how impressive someone's portfolio or technical explanations may be, nothing replaces systematic, independent verifications for their capabilities. The fourth predator type is what I call the control freak. Someone whose need for control ultimately becomes the partnership's biggest liability. And I think the best example here is Travis Kalanick, the co-founder and former CEO of Uber. He exemplifies this archetype perfectly. His fall from grace in 2017 wasn't just about scandals or toxic culture. It was the inevitable result of a leadership style that couldn't distinguish between strong vision and destructive control. Travis's biggest strengths and his biggest weaknesses are the same thing. He will push through anything to win, explained a former Uber executive. This relentless drive helped build Uber into a $70 billion company. But it also created the conditions for Kalanick's downfall. Even as the company scaled to over 12,000 employees in 70 countries, Kalanick insisted on being the final decision maker on matters large and small. When board members confronted him about his controlling leadership style, instead of addressing these concerns, Kalanick worked to dilute board voting power and secure more control for himself. How ironic. So the warning signs for a control freak include obsessive attention to details, inability to delegate effectively, emotional reactions to disagreements, constant monitoring of others' work, needs to be involved in every decision, tendency to undermine others' authority. And so your protection strategies here should include clear documentation of roles and responsibilities, written decision-making frameworks, protected communication lines with key stakeholders, regular partnership health checks, predefined dissolution procedures. Remember, control freaks create what I call golden handcuffs, partnerships that are financially rewarding but emotionally devastating. Their most insidious weapon is your own reluctance to walk away from profits, which often keeps you trapped long after the partnership turns toxic. And so the final predator type is what I call the opportunity thief. Someone who strategically waits and sometimes creates moments of vulnerability, then makes decisive moves to extract value. The origin story of Snapchat provides the textbook example. According to court documents, Reggie Brown first proposed the concept of disappearing photos to Evan Spiegel while living in the same dorm. The three founders, Brown, Spiegel, and Bobby Murphy, worked together for months, with Brown creating the Ghost logo, filing patents, and handling marketing materials. But during a dispute over equity distribution, Spiegel and Murphy allegedly changed server passwords, altered ownership documents, and systematically removed all mentions of Brown from company records. They effectively erased him from the company's history during a moment of vulnerability. And by the time Brown filed a lawsuit in 2013, Snapchat was valued at over $800 million. When the company went public in 2017, it was worth $33 billion. So the warning signs of an opportunity thief include opportunistic timing of demands, strategic use of leverage points, pattern of renegotiating terms, focusing on contractual loopholes, selective commitment to obligations, expert timing of power plays. Your protection strategies here should include regular assessment of dependency points, comprehensive partnership agreements, protected minority rights, anti-dilution provisions, independent growth capacity, balanced voting rights. Remember, opportunity thieves don't just steal value, they strategically wait for moments of vulnerability. They're playing chess while most entrepreneurs are playing checkers. So understanding these 5 predator types, the charming fraudster, silent hijacker, competence faker, control freak, and opportunity thief, is your first line of defense against partnership betrayal. But knowing these patterns isn't enough. You need systems to protect yourself. Here are 3 fundamental principles I cover much more in depth in my book. First, systematic verification beats gut feeling every time. Create processes that don't depend on trust, but make trust possible through transparency. Second, build trust layers into your partnership from day one. This isn't about distrust. It's about creating structures where healthy relationships can flourish. Third, recognize that partnership warning signs rarely announce themselves with sirens blaring. They whisper in moments of stress. They hide in patterns of behavior. And they reveal themselves in small inconsistencies we're tempted to ignore. My upcoming book, Sharks, Snakes, and Business Partners, dives much deeper into every single one of these types, with detailed case studies, warning signs, and protection strategies drawn from my own expensive education and experiences of others. If you want to be notified when it's available and see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. I'll be releasing more videos on the specific partnership protection strategies in the coming weeks. Remember, the goal isn't to avoid all partnerships, it's to enter them with clear eyes and proper protection. Because while the right partnerships can elevate your business beyond what you could achieve alone, the wrong ones can destroy everything you've worked to build. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below.